friends, this is Shay with S&G Farm and Farm. Today we're going to be working on starting our fermented feed for my chickens. Right now I'm going through about just too much with bags of feed going up so much. So I'm going to try fermenting it. It's supposed to absorb water, add probiotics into your chicken's diet, and make the feed easier to digest. So today our ratio we're working with today is 2 bags of the 16% layer crumble. And then I've got a bag here of the scratch grains here. So we're going to mix those. So it's a 2-to-1 ratio here. And then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on fermenting the stuff. So let's get this mixed in with this barrel back here behind me. And then I'll show you what I'm doing with the fermented feed. So basically what we're doing here is we are dividing this up in this bin, and we're going to be mixing it together so it's a more complete mixture. So you can see that we've put a half a bag of the chick feed in there, and now we're going to be adding in the scratch grain, and we'll just do that until the bin is filled up. I'm just going to do it a little bit at a time to make sure I'm getting a good ratio in there. Something else you can do right here is, instead of just using the straight up layer feed, in the wintertime you could definitely switch out a bag of that for either the chick feed, which is a 20% protein, or even go with a game bird or turkey starter feed, which is up to a 30% protein. This will help the chickens in the winter when they're not getting all of the insects and stuff that they would normally eat, maintain that protein and stop from attacking each other and being more aggressive. Since I don't have a stick to stir this with, I'm just going to reach in with my hand and do it myself. So what we're looking for is just a nice mixture here. You can see we've got a good amount of crumble but scratch in there. So that's going to be a nice mix. Okay, so I've got these little buckets here that we're going to give it a try. I'm going to work on a 3-day system here. So this bucket is going to sit for 3 days. Tomorrow I'm going to make another bucket. That'll set for 3 days, and so on. So by day 3, this bucket will be ready. Day 4, this bucket will be ready to feed, and we'll just keep that rotation going. So each bucket will sit for 3 days to ferment that feed, and we'll check it daily to make sure it's got enough water and stuff in it to continue with the fermentation process. So right now, dry crumble, I am feeding 3 to 6 scoops every day, depending on the weather. I do keep my chickens on the leaner side. They are a breed that, they're all breeds that like to forage. So I want to still encourage that. So I've got 1 scoop in this bucket. I'm going to do about another half a scoop. So let's see if we can cut our feed bill by about half. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fill this up with enough water that's going to be a couple inches. We're probably going to fill this bucket about 5 inches above the feed line. And that will just, with that understanding, you'll know that it's going to absorb water. And so the grain and the feed in this will absorb the water and grow a little bigger. So it will end up taking up more of the bucket. So right now we're shooting for, by the day 3, that this bucket will be full. So this will be double in size by the time it's ready to be fed. So now we're just going to fill this up about halfway to the top with water, and then we're going to put a lid on it, and we're going to label it day 1, and then we'll keep going with that. I will be labeling the bucket day 1 and the lid day 1 so I don't get everything confused, and then we'll do the same thing tomorrow. We're in the house and I just filled this bucket up. You can see that I've got a good couple inches of water in here, and this is going to be setting for 3 days before we decide to feed it to the chickens. Now you can see a little bubbles and stuff in it. That's just the bubbles in the feed rising to the top so that their water is connecting with everything. I did stir it up, and so we'll check on this tomorrow when we make our second bucket, and ideally we're going to be looking for more bubbles that are forming on their own. That's going to show the fermentation process happening. Now we are going to be leaving this in the house because we are due to have some pretty cold days over the next couple days. Very deep, cold, deep temperatures. The one thing I do want to point out is that these are a food and beverage grade, agricultural and industrial, BPA free bucket. These I think are like the 2.5 to 3 gallons instead of the 5 gallons. And so you just want to keep that in mind, because just like with people, this is feed for chickens. You don't want that leaching in there and causing problems for your chickens. Looking at the top here, I have labeled it day 1. This is starting day 1, and then we're going to label it fermenting chicken feed, and on the side fermenting chicken feed, so that there's no confusion of what's going to be in this bucket, so it doesn't accidentally get thrown out. And then we're just going to go and set it by the back door so it's easy to grab when we go to feed our chickens, and then we will see you back tomorrow. And here is a clip of my chickens really enjoying their fermented feed. You can see how much they're truly enjoying it. Hey guys, so it's been a super busy week with me. Sorry I haven't got anything posted. So most of what we're going to talk about today is about the fermented chicken feed. So where I left off was we were looking at day 2 and we just prepped day 3. So really, I didn't see any difference as far as the fermentation process from day 1 to day 2 or from day 2 to day 3. So I'm only going to be fermenting overnight. So it'll just be a 24-hour fermentation. And that seems to be just fine with my chickens. So we're just going to go with that. I do feel like they really enjoy it better. They really attack that feed now when I put it out. They don't just eat a little bit and then walk away. They're really liking the fermented feed, so it's, you know, got more moisture and stuff in it. I think it's really easier for them to eat too. It's not so dry. So they're really enjoying that. I was super busy last week because we had a big storm. We had some like 2 degrees, negative, you know, negative 0 degrees Fahrenheit. And so it was pretty chilly. And on top of that, the first day that we had snow and everything, my doe decides to give birth. And I'm just like, great. So I was frantically trying to make sure that that baby was okay, checking on him like 3 times a day until the worst of the cold stopped, you know, and was over with. And now we're probably pretty much over the coldest parts of the night and the part of the month. Right now we're looking at above freezing temperatures at night, just like right at 32 degrees, up to, you know, like 35 degrees at night. So it's a blessing. I'm glad that cold snap is really over with, and we're starting to kind of warm up a little bit, so that's really going to help. But I'm having to milk my goat because the baby is only eating out on one side, and so her other side is getting really engorged, so I'm having to milk her out a little bit. I did notice that my little doeling now is trying to drink out of the engorged side now after I've milked her out a little bit. I think that teat on that side was just too large for that new doeling, so hopefully I won't have to keep milking her every day like I am right now, until I decide to separate the doeling at night so that I can milk in the morning or something like that. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, so I'm on my way out to my mom's house right now to feed the animals out there and collect some eggs, and then I'll go home and enjoy myself. And my birthday's coming up this next week, so I'm just trying to relax a little bit before the craziness of that happens. I'm going to take a 4-day weekend and get some projects and stuff done, so it'll give me a lot of content to create and be able to post for y'all guys. And I do have a surprise edition, not another goat. I do have another doe that's due probably end of this month to the end of next month. So we will have some more baby kids, so coming soon. But the next edition is going to be coming in about 2 weeks, about a week now. Today is Thursday the 9th, February 9th. So yeah, about a week and a half, we'll have a new surprise for y'all, and I can't wait to share that with y'all. So you'll get to see some of that, getting ready for those new arrivals to come in, and all that fun stuff. So and then we'll be having some seed starting going on. I don't generally start my seeds until the end of February, simply for the fact that in our region we do run the chance of having, even though our last frost date's in the middle of April, I think it's like April 21st, we still run a really big chance, and it's fairly frequent to have a cold snap or even snow up until Mother's Day, so the middle of May. So in my location, the farmers and locally, we generally don't plant until after like the second Sunday in May, or Mother's Day is our point, so we don't plant anything until like the end of May, beginning of June. That's just our mark line. So I don't tend to start like my tomatoes and peppers and stuff like as early as some people. I will start mine in, you know, late February, like February 29th area, simply for that reason, that I know I'm not going to plant them out until the end of May, beginning of June. But I am going to get some lettuces started. I've got some cole crops I'm going to get started, so those can go out a little bit sooner. And then I am going to have some of my herbs and stuff going here shortly, so that'll be fun. I'm really itching to get my hands and fingers in that dirt and see some stuff growing and everything, so we'll get that going. I'm looking forward to some fresh herbs and stuff. I want some green growth and everything, so we'll be doing some of that this weekend. For my birthday though, however, my husband is getting my old KitchenAid mixer serviced, so he's going to get it cleaned up for me and make sure everything is oiled and running properly, so I'll be excited about that. Alright, well, I will see y'all guys next time. Thank you for joining me at S&G Family Farm, and we look forward to sharing more with our family. Bye. So interesting thing is, just milking one side out of her, with her being a half Nigerian, I'm collecting about a pint of milk just on that one side. All right, everybody, thank you for joining me today. If you liked my video, just like and subscribe, and please share. It really helps to get this out to everyone.